Are we ready?
Muted time.
Okay, it is 9:30 now. And this is Darrell Banks, Richland County Commissioner, having our board meeting on what day of August is it?
It's
September.
September. I'm early and I'm late. Hey, I'm with Tony Vero and Cliff.
After a holiday.
Commissioners. And Stacy Carl's our clerk. Have we got the press with us, Stacy?
Al Lawrence.
Al Lawrence, welcome Al. We did have a 9:30 meeting appointment with the Community Action Commission. But Ike is going to reschedule. So let's do a little bit of other. How about we check over the approval for the minutes of September the 2nd?
So moved.
And seconded.
Banks,
Yes.
Rivero,
Yes.
Yes.
And what about approval for requisitions?
So moved, which is the second page of pretty much all sheriffs.
Imagine that.
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Rivero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Okay. Engineer has requested an authorization for an annual overweight permit, Richland Transit Incorporated, and they would use the same route as described before, State Route 39 in Springfield Township, then hitting southwest on Lexington Spring Mill, and taking Route 30 to Marion.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Rivero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Okay, we have letters of retirement for Rick Evans, EMA, and EMA. Is there a motion to accept their letters of resignation?
So moved.
And seconded.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Rivero,
Yes.
Commissioner Mears.
Yes.
Okay, and then we have an announcement that there's an annexation petition announcing the filing of it for 11.133 acres from Springfield Township to Ontario.
So moved.
No motion, just an,
And why are they doing this?
sorry, what?
Why is this happening? Who's requested this? It's three property owners.
Yes, I don't know why they're requesting it. They want to annex into it's a large vacant piece of land. So I don't know, or it's 11 acres of vacant land,
Are they tapping into utilities or something? Is that the reason? Or?
maybe in the future.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's 9:33 and any other?
Nope.
Okay, we have an appointment at 10 o'clock.
Al's-
I had a question.
Go right ahead, Al.
Who were the owners? Just individuals or what on that property?
Yes, I believe there were three individuals.
It's three individuals. I would venture to guess their family.
Okay,
And-
where is this parcel?
In Springfield Township,
It's on Millsboro East Road. I don't have a number on Millsboro East.
Okay,
I do have the name of the lawyer that if you want to talk to him,
yeah, who was it?
Jason B. Murray.
Jason?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the phone number is 419-529-7271.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. 9:35. We will stand recess. It is 10 o'clock. And the Board of Richland County Commissioners are back in session. Been joined by, from the press, we have Greg Kale, WMFD, Joe Trillian from our mental health board, not board, but director. And Joe, we'd like to hear a little bit from you, and then we'll.
Sure. This month, I'm here for September's Recovery Month. It's something we do annually, and typical of our nature, we weren't interested in the topics that the nationals put forward. So we decided that we wanted to focus more on recovery and vocation. We are seeing business owners that need workers. We have people in recovery that are in a point in time in their recovery from mental illness or addiction. They're ready to go back to work, either to return to work, or some of them actually enter the workforce for the first time. What we're trying to find is a way that we can bring these two entities together. We will be developing, starting this month, but we're going to try to develop a catalog of employers that are recovery supportive, that they're looking for, they're willing to really learn about recovery, learn about mental illness, learn about signs and symptoms, what you can expect, what they can do to help, things that they can access to help. We can also give realistic pictures to those people that are looking to come into work. What are you expected to do? It's not that you get a free ride. Yes, you've had to work very hard to get to where you're at. The work needs to continue. But we know that we've seen enough statistics that one of the leading causes for retaining sobriety and retaining a true recovery is gainful employment, not just piecemeal work, not just part-time work, but actual gainful employment where you're able to support yourself, pay your rent, provide for your own independence. We also know one of the 5 leading causes of somebody relapsing from their mental illness recovery or addiction recovery is vocational stress. So it's kind of counter. So we want to really kind of move cautiously, but make sure that we come up with a good marriage. We want to make sure, because those vocational stress can be either not being able to find a job, finding jobs that are not in a field that you're at all comfortable with, not getting along with your supervisor or your coworkers. These can all be mitigated by working with just developing the education of what to look for and on both sides of the fence. So we're hoping that this month to start having those conversations with business owners and then springboard this into an ongoing process. So we're actually going to write into our 5-year strategic plan on working with building a vocational track into all of our recovery processes so that we are sending folks, they're looking for that first job, to employers kind of know what to look for. And if we have employers that frankly, they don't want to be known as that person, that's fine. We don't want to put anybody on a list that doesn't want to be on a list. But my goal is to have a catalog of employers that we can have at each one of the agencies so that when somebody's ready to go back to work, we can say, hey, okay, here's what we have available. Here are the steps that they're looking for. This is what they want you to bring. This is the information they want you to provide. So people we reduce a lot of that stress. So that's a piece of what we're doing for Recovery Month this month, is really kind of emphasizing that need to work closely with the vocational system. Number of other things we'll be doing, as we know, COVID has reemerged. So again, our calendar is 1 page instead of 2 pages long, which is what is typical. And it's a lot of more virtual and informative programs. Doing a lot of work with the radio stations on TV just to put out PSAs, information about different. We will have 2 commercials running for our recently opened behavioral health urgent cares to try to make sure the community is aware of this service that's available to them. We'll be doing a presentation on September 11th with the Crossroads Church called Mental Health in the Church. It's open, it's free for anybody. Just call the board to register. And we're going to be talking about different ways to develop kind of care teams within a church system. So we find that when somebody comes to see us, lots of people have already had contact with them. The sooner we can intervene, the better. And if we have good supportive people in the community that are looking for signs and symptoms to know when somebody's peculiar behavior is it something that really needs to be addressed here and now? You can go ahead and do that and know the roads to take to get them into services. So hopefully we'll be able to build off of that. And then I'm also doing another presentation at another church on the 18th. So word's getting around. People are wanting to hear more about what's going on in the community.
Well, thank you.
Very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Trollian.
One other thing, if I can mention,
Absolutely.
Picture.
coming up in October to kind of build off that recovery and vocation is we are going to be hosting 2 breakfasts at Kingwood Center on October 8th and October 15th from 7:30 to 9. Again, you can call the office to register. This will be, first day will be more informational of kind of what things to look for, what we're trying to accomplish. We'll start looking into some of the details, bringing in JFS and a couple of speakers. Second day of the meeting to kind of look at what businesses can do to position themselves. We know questions that have come up in the past is, how do I keep my drug-free workplace and still have policies that are recovery supportive? That's a tough one to work through, but we know businesses that have done it already. And so we're going to bring them on board to kind of lead that discussion.
Good.
Thank you.
Busy guy.
Sounds like a lot of worthwhile information and things that you're going to be doing. So
Try to stay busy.
certainly can do that.
Essential services. Thank you so much. And we do have a proclamation for you. I'd be glad to read it. You like?
Well, I'm worried about you nicking my face.
The mic-
Archie.
I'll go ahead and read this now. So this is from the Richland County Board of Commissioners for Richland County Recovery Month. Whereas for over 30 years, National Recovery Month has worked to improve the lives of those affected by mental illness and addiction disorders by raising awareness of these diseases and educating communities about prevention, treatment, and recovery resources available. And whereas Richland County served 8,000 residents for treatment of addiction or mental illness between July 2020 and June 2021 in a publicly funded system. Services were provided by 11 treatment agencies, including Catalyst Life Services, Family Life Counseling, and Mansfield Umadop. And whereas to address the need for immediate access to treatment, Catalyst Life Services and Family Life Counseling have opened the county's first behavioral health urgent care. These urgent cares allow access to diagnostic assessments and brief solution focused counseling Monday through Saturday without the need for an appointment, which you mentioned this morning on the Zoom meeting. And whereas research has shown that gainful employment introduced at the right time with a supportive employer in an individual's road to recovery can increase the drive to stay in recovery and significantly decrease the rate of relapse, which 100% that makes total sense. And whereas we know that the impact from COVID, we have many employers who need qualified workers, and we have individuals in recovery that have skills to cover those. This creates an opportunity to enhance both systems as we all resume our lives post-pandemic. So now therefore be it resolved, the Richland County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim the month of September 2021 as Richland County Recovery Month, and it's signed by us 3 commissioners. So
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Please accept this.
Appreciate it. I always appreciate all the support from the commissioners.
Glad to give it.
Now that Maryland's gone, you got way much more, right?
Yeah. Love Maryland, especially if that's on the record.
Oh, we're gonna strike that. Greg, make sure you edit that out, will you?
But I will say, we served 8,000 people this year. It's down a little bit. We're usually between 8,500 and 10,000.
That's a lot. I mean,
We
that's
hit
good.
10,000. I think it was either fiscal 17 or fiscal 18, and it's dropped off due to COVID. But what we haven't seen, it's honestly thanks to the infrastructure that you help provide for the teleservices. We only saw about a 10 to 15% decrease, where other communities were seeing 60 and 70% drop offs for people accessing services. So we greatly appreciate the community support of these programs and keeping people actively involved with their services. So
I think the connection you made with those in recovery services and employment is so essential and really time sensitive right now because we have so many, as you said, and as we have in the proclamation, there's so many employers looking for workers.
not that I want to steal a phrase, but you never waste a crisis. We have a perfect storm here that we've got people who need work and we have people who need employees.
Yeah.
And if this is a time to kind of figure out where the barriers are and eliminate some of those,
Timing's right, man.
make a regular process so we can get people through recovery treatment and back to employment, that's going to help the system immensely.
8,000 people is 6.4% of our population.
My goal is that we serve at least 10%. Now, granted, I don't have the count for like Third Street Family Health Services. I know they probably do another 1,000 to 1,500 people for behavioral health. We have a number of private practitioners, Life Steps, New Directions, Heritage, that are also doing behavioral health services. So,
Not included in your number.
right, that aren't included. So that's all private sector. So we don't have access to those numbers. So we're getting close, but I want to make sure that we have enough services and enough capacity to serve at least 10% of our population in Richland County.
As far as I'm thinking our goal should be to get it so the numbers go down, not up.
How you look at it. I would rather people access.
Right, you're saying if they're out there, right?
Is people don't access services if they're not available.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I rarely look at high numbers as a negative. I look at that as people actually getting in for treatment because statistics show about 10% of people need some type of mental health service at any given time. So we need to have that capacity here. And we are, unfortunately, that 6.4% ranks us up in the top 10 counties in the state for services per capita. So that means we have a lot, I mean, the state really want to see that increase. And I know a lot of counties are looking for that. A lot of counties that are surrounding us are looking for Richland County to have that. They like the fact that we bring up services that they may not be big enough to support on their own, but they can access within 15 minutes.
Well, we appreciate the effort that you and your team.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please continue to help as many as you can.
We will do that.
Great job, Jim.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Joe. Anyone have any questions from the press? Well, then we will recess until 10:30. Whoop, go ahead, Al.
Yeah, just one quick question. If I could have a copy of that proclamation, please.
Sure. It will be sent unto you. Okay, 10:12, and we'll stand.
Job description. I respond. I thought, yeah.
It is 10:30 and we are back in session. Been joined by Chuck Minich, our Director of Maintenance. And Chuck, you have got a plan you want to discuss with us,
Right,
hot water in the jail.
yeah.
That Chuck, I don't recognize me. It looks so different.
I know, I got them all lowered this weekend. Yeah, in the jail, we have 3 hot water PVI boilers in there, which stores about 1,200 gallons of water.
PVI is,
It's a acronym for their company, but I don't know what PVI stands for. It's a type of boiler.
Okay.
Yeah. Not sure what PVI even does. Anyways, the one storage tank boiler is leaking now, and we looked at just replacing the one boiler. The boiler itself, another PVI is around $58,000. So that isn't even installing it.
So whatever PEI stands for, it ain't cheap.
Yeah. Get your
Price value increase.
get your pocketbook out. So anyways, got talking with Steve at Standard, and I said, with technology getting better, I think we can do this differently. And we've looked at different buildings and using Lochinvar products, and we use Lochinvar boilers out at Dog Pound, and we've used Lochinvar here. And what's impressive about them, they're 99% efficient, which we're about 80% efficient in there with the PVIs. So looking to replace the one right now with a 200-gallon tank and a Lochinvar boiler, which is about $39,980. But I actually think we can eliminate the other 2 and end up with a duplicate when the next one goes bad to do this again. And this, between the recovery rate and efficiency of these boilers, we can actually eliminate about 800 gallons of storage just because they recover so fast now.
You
And
saying there's an ROI on this?
yeah, there is.
We get that in the minutes, Stacy. Just so when he retires, we can call him and say,
Yeah,
said there was an ROI on this and look at our water bill.
right. Well, your gas, you should actually notice some gas savings in it, actually. So so I wanted to do one this year just to make sure that the theory works and how it recovers, and put it in as a lead boiler and kind of watch it for the next couple months, make sure it does what it's doing. If it works, do the second one next year, and then it would be totally replaced. And
2 of these would replace the 3 that we have now.
yeah. So, but for now, we would be doing one.
And if I remember right, I think you gave me, you estimated a price on the ones we have now.
Yeah. To buy it was 58,000, be about another 6,000 to 7,000 put it in. So we'd be way over 60,000. We'd have to bid it at that point.
Yeah.
So this kind of cleans it up a little bit. I think we'll have a better solution. When we replace next year, we would have a 100% redundancy. So I think we can run off of one tank and one boiler. I think these are so efficient and so incredibly, they recover so well. I think we can run off of one. So,
Here's the question, where are we paying for this such
well,
deal?
actually, Stacy had an idea of a thing, or I have an idea of in my project thing, there's kind of a misprint in there that we actually funded that didn't need funded. So we could reappropriate money in the reinvestment fund, or Stacy had idea of.
What's your idea, Stacy?
Well, one, I feel like it should be paid from the general fund because it's a jail repair expense.
It's a
So it really needs to be paid to reflect the true cost of the jail.
Okay.
But the old jail fund has a current balance of $197,000.
Perfect.
So
Motion to transfer from the old jail fund.
You could transfer all of it back right now. We can transfer just what we need.
Let's transfer what we need.
And then I can transfer and get it appropriated to the jail repair line item in the
The
general.
old jail fund to the general fund.
Yes.
Yeah, and that way, then when we do the true up with the city of Mansfield, all the money would be reflecting in that true up. So, I mean, that's actually better for you guys.
Motion.
Second. Ben. Sounds like a really good, well thought out plan.
Good job, Chuck.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Mears?
Yes.
Any questions out there? Hearing none. Any other?
No, I don't have any.
Thank you. Any other? At 10:36, this commissioners board meeting will adjourn.